Hello friends, good morning, good afternoon. In this session, we are going to see function in SQL Server. First of all, what is the function? Function is the database object and it contains the set of SQL statement. Correct? Means there are some SQL statements means like the um, insert, update, delete, and we can do the any join operation or there is a union, something like that we can use in function. And one more thing, it gives us the result in the form of scalar value or in the form of result set. So what is mean by scalar value? Scalar value is nothing but the single value. Let's say there is a one number. I am calling it as a variable as a, right? And I am assigning value as a 5 to it. Then there is a b is the variable and it having as a 10, right? So the addition is at the rate a is equal to sorry at the rate a plus at the rate b, so it give us the value as a means it contains the 5 plus 10, so this is the value we will get means 15 value. So this is nothing but the scalar value. And one more thing, let's say there is a one table, select star from, I'm selecting the database as a daily project and in that there is a registration is the table. Yes, and there are some columns like the first name comma last name, right? So it contains there are multiple records and if we wanna this result, then we are getting this value means we are getting this result set. So it will return us the result in the form of scalar value as well as result set format. Means first of all what we have to do, we have to pass the some input parameter and then based on that we will get the either return the value in the form of scalar or in the form of result set. Then next characteristics of function is user defined function means like a function having a two types like a user defined function and system defined function. Correct? So user defined function does not support exception handling and transaction. What it is means there is a exception handling means we have to handle the exceptions means there is a try and catch block within that there is an error occurred, then we are handled in a catch statement. Correct? So that things we are not means that function user defined function is not able to support. Correct? And then second thing is the transaction means begin transaction, then there are SQL statement and then commit transaction. So transaction is also not supporting by the function. Correct? And then column name must be unique. Let's say this is the one SQL statement is select star first name and last name. Suppose I am using uh, this statement in the function, so it will not allow because they are written as the unique column name. That's why unique means column name must be a unique. And after that, there is a one more property of the function means we can't use a function to insert, update, delete the records in the database tables. Means let's say employee is the physical table, correct? And in dairy project there is an employee or registration, daily milk collection, these are the physical table, we can't do any operation with them means like the insert, update, delete. Yeah, we can do the insert, update, delete operation with the table variable. Means let's say this is the means how to declare, how to create the table variable, declare at the rate table name means at the rate this is the table variable name and then just add the table and whatever the columns you have to mention with their data type you can do that. And this is nothing but the table variable. Correct? And so we can do the any insert, update, delete operation on that table variable but not on the physical table. First of all, we will go through some means practical things, then you will easily understand, yeah, these are the things. And means like there are some practical interview questions like stored procedure can call the function, but function cannot call the stored procedure. Then next thing is what is the difference between the stored procedure and function, or when to use the function. First of all, we will see what is the function and then go inside it. Correct. So first of all, function we see in the definition. Then there are two types: user defined function and system defined function. First of all, we will see a small example of the function. Means let's say here is the HMS is the database, and in that there is a patient is the table. Correct. Yeah. Here is the patient is the table. Correct. I want patient ID, first name, middle name, last name. Yeah. And there is a city. Okay. And rest of the column I don't want. So I'm joining with the inner join city. Correct. Patient alias as a P, city as alias as a C. Then on which columns we have to make a join. P dot city ID is equal to C dot ID. Correct. City ID. Right. And I am picking the one column at here as a C dot description, C dot name as city name. Right. This is the simple query. And what we have to do, actually right now I there are 50K records, and I want the patients who belongs to the Pune city. So I am what I will do. First of all, select star from city, and so Nasik or Pune. Let's say city ID is equal to Pune. Then P dot city ID is equal to 1. Okay. So what I will get? Actually, I will get all the all the patients who belongs to the Pune, right? So I will put this code, means this code, and just I am passing the parameter, means like the as a input parameter as a city ID. Then I will get this result. Means suppose I want Aurangabad, I want Ahmednagar, I want uh, Mumbai. So I am passing that particular city ID to that function, and then based on that I am getting this result. And one more thing, suppose we have to join this data, means function, there is a one major difference in between the function and stored procedure. Stored procedure we can't join with the any table, but easily suppose we create the one function for it, and we can join that function with other. Miss when we are joining these two tables, or there are some multiple tables, and we have to make a join on a particular patient ID, and we created the any function for them, and then we can easily use that function in a join. I am just adding that point here. And one more thing, suppose this is the select result, correct? And in select result, we can call the function name as like dbo dot fn underscore addition, and we can pass the two column. Means there is a let's say first name, comma, last name. Yeah, this is the miss this is the function name, and we will call it, and then we will get the result. First of all, we will see what are the different types of user defined function. Miss why we require the function? First of all, it will result return us the result in the form of scalar or a result set format, right? And then next thing, there are two types: user defined function and then system defined function. And in user defined, this is the in user defined means we are creating that our own logic, and we can uh, create that function based on our functionality, and we will get the result either in a scalar format or the tabular format, means result set format. First of all, scalar defined function, and then next is the table valued function, scalar valued. Then there is a table valued. Actually, in table valued, there is a no any multiple statement. That means there is a select uh, that particular only one statement we can use in the table valued, and there is a multi-statement table valued function. One by one, we can see in the detail. um, Multiple multi-statement table valued. Okay, and we will quickly look into it, but before of that, I'm just giving you the some small example of the system defined, and then from the next session we will go through the complete details about the system defined functions and how to look into the function. Me suppose I created the one function here, then here is the database. In database there is a programmability. First of all, we seen stored procedure, correct? And right now we are going to see functions, and in that there are table valued function, scalar valued function, correct? And there is a table valued, there is a multi-statement table valued functions as well, correct? This is the, so all the listed at here, and here is the scalar valued function, right? And there is a aggregate function, system functions. Here you could see aggregate functions are like the mean, max, sum, count, average. Correct. These are the aggregate function. And here you could see there is a average, count, max, mean. There is a summation, the average function. Correct. So these are the aggregate function. Then there are some cursor function, date time function. Let's say select get date, right? And always we have to use the open and close parenthesis after that. So and when you over it, so it will give us the some hint about, means it returns the date time. When you execute it, so it will return us the date time, right? So date, based on the means related to the date time, there are different function: date add, date difference, date name, date part. We will go through all of these. And mathematical functions like the miss abs, then there is a sine, cos, tan, log, power, then random function, round function, square root. Okay, and then metadata like a column length, then there is a column name, file group, file name, dbid. So these are the some different functions. Miss suppose I am using the db name, db underscore name function, correct? And just execute it. So what you will, it give us the means current, which database in the current session, which database we are using. So it will give us the db name, db id. These are the some metadata functions. And hierarchy functions, power set, security functions. So there is a s user, miss yes user sid. We will go through one by one. Means let's say username. So who is the username right now? Let's say first of all select, and then username. So it will give us the DBO, miss right now from which schema are you running on, right? So that give us the security function. And then there is a string functions, Means whenever there is a essay come into the picture, then we will get the dbo. And there are some string functions, means what is the length of that particular string, what is the lower, means let's say I am giving you the one example here. I am selecting the top 5, means we will get only 5 records. And there is a I have to make the lower case, then you can use the lower function. And if I have to make it as a uppercase, sorry, correct, means this is the lower and this is the upper name. So based on that, there are some different functions like a string. So we will go through all of them one by one. And right now we are just going to look into the user defined function. What is the scalar, what is table valued, and multi-statement table valued function. Okay. Mm, First of all, scalar valued function. I am creating a one scalar valued function. Scalar valued function returns the result in the form of scalar value, means single value. Scalar is nothing but the single value. So what is the example for that? One example here is the, first of all, just forget about this code. Correct. And here what I am doing, first of all, I am declaring the variable as a cube. I am considering it as a integer. And here is the one variable, right? I am also declaring that declare a is equal to 5. And what I will do, first of all, I am setting that value cube. Yeah, there is a integer, and I am allocating the value to that, setting the value for the a is 5. And there is a cube is miss multiplication at 3 times. And just select cube. Cube is the variable, execute it. So you will get as a 125, 5 into 5 into 5, correct. And what function is doing, first of all, right now this is the hard code value, means there is a we are getting the value from this variable, right? But instead of that, I have to do, I will take it from the user side. So means like the, this is the syntax, create function, function name, right? Or fn underscore, this is the best practice, means based on that we can easily catch, yeah, this is the function. And then number of cube, means there is a function number cube, means it will, this is the function name, correct, means easily we can understand, we are passing the number, so it will return us the cube. And yeah, here is the that particular parameter, at the rate parameter, and data type of it we have to set. And then what it returns, integer, right, means what we will do, first of all we will do the multiplication of that number and then returns the data in the integer format, and as begin and end, right. And miss syntax is the very simple. First of all, create function, function name. Then if we have to pass the parameter, then pass it. It is not compulsory, right? And then returns integer. Right now, I require the parameter from outside. That's why I am creating the one parameter here. And begin and end. We have to write the code in between these two statement, begin and end. And then we are returning the cube. First of all, miss function wants the return statement. That's why we are here at the end, instead of the select we have to return, right. And just execute it. Yeah, miss function is created. And if you have to alter that function, then just use the alter word, alter function. Okay. And if you have to drop, then just drop function name. That's it. How to call the function? With the help of miss schema name and function name, we can call that function. First of all, there is a select statement, and in select statement we have to use that particular function name. And then suppose, let's say here is we are passing the value as a 10, then we will give us the result as a 1000, correct? So this is the function. And we can see another example of it. Means there are two strings, means there is a first name and last name I am passing to the function, and it will return us the full name, right? So how to do that? First of all, at the rate full name, right? Means suppose there is a first name, I that function require the first name and last name, and it will return us the full name. Let's say I'm uh, first of all declaring the declare full name as 100, varchar 100, and set full name is equal to concat space in between them. Actually, no need to specify the plus, right? It's also fine. Or means in other way we can write that as well without function, right? This is also applicable. So miss in function within function, miss it is better way to miss. Right now we are just for an example, I'm creating the example of this first name plus last name is equal to the full name, right? And we are returning the full name and just create it. So we have to call that function, right? So dbo dot fn underscore which function, there is a uh, function underscore dbo dot function, sorry, dbo, and then I have to pass, yeah, Nilesh, and then Jadhav, DHAV, correct, and then execute it. So it will return us the Nilesh Jadhav as a full name. Got it? So yeah, and next thing, uh, I have to call this function in the select statement in a result set. How to call select star from patient name, right? Patient. It will give us the result as a whole data set. But I want first name and last name here. First name, comma, last name. Then there is a separate column, and I want to make as a string concatenation in between them. So just call that function. Means this is the simple example, but there is a some complexity in between that. There is a miss first name with last name. Right now I'm concatenating, and there is a let's say example. Means suppose there is a quantity into the rate, then it will give us the actual amount, or there are some complex things as well, so we can do that operation as a scalar valued function and just call that function as a like this and pass the parameter as a first name comma last name as full name. That's it. So execute it. So it will return us the full name, means first name plus last name. And when we execute the function, every time execution plan will generate. Okay, but in terms of the stored procedure, means there is a one once we create the stored procedure, only one time execution plan is create and we can execute it multiple times. In the background, they are calling the same execution plan, but in terms of the function, every time there is a the execution plan is different. If we checked it, then this is nothing but the execution plan. In background, means there is a clustered index scan. I will show you miss in the execution plan session what is the execution plan and how to create, miss actually how it is creating by the database engine and all these things. Okay, miss for 50,000 rows it is the function is calling and we will get the result. Correct. So this is nothing but the user defined function. In user defined we seen scalar valued. Correct. And there are two more remaining, table valued and multi-statement table valued function. So in the next session we will see that what is the table valued function, what is the multi-statement table valued function. Actually, I'm giving you the just brief idea about that. Means suppose we want a result set like as I said, there is a mm, means this is the result set, correct? Means when we execute this query, so we will get the data, right? And actually it is on the HIMS database and we have to pass the parameter as a 1 2 or 3. Okay, actually it is not the actual. Yeah, so this is the result set and this is the scalar valued function, correct? And so we want such data in a tabular format. There are multiple one column or multiple columns, so we can use the table valued function. And when to the multi-statement table valued function, means there is a multiple statements like a select, insert, update, delete. So we can use the multi-statement table valued function, but these are the insert, update, delete on the table variable, not on the actual table. So all these things we will see in a detail in the next session. Thank you very much for watching this video. If you like it, please share it and subscribe my channel. Thank you very much. Bye bye.